one, get your mental right, but two, understand that like life is gonna be bigger than football.
Outside of football, you're still a human being. You still got to go do your groceries or go make some dinner or go out and hang out with friends.
So to get us started off, I just want to kind of warm us up with a few questions. The first three are fill in the blanks. So get your game face on. The first one is strength is blank. What is like the first thing that comes to your mind?
I said power.
Strength is vulnerable.
Ooh, okay, we're getting deep already. That's good. Okay, next one. I wish, and this is from your own perspective, I wish more men knew.
That it's okay to be vulnerable.
I wish more men knew that it's okay to take time for yourself daily.
Ooh, that's good. Okay, what's harder, asking for help or accepting help?
Ooh, that's good. I would say asking for help probably.
I'm gonna say asking as well. I'm gonna second
Although
that.
I think as men it's hard to do both.
Right.
It's an ego thing,
It's
honestly, low key. But
Is it?
100%.
yeah, like when somebody is already willing to help, like, all right, bro, you right. Like
Right.
you right. I probably need something. So yeah.
Mhm.
That's good. Okay, what's harder between these two? Recovering from a physical injury or a mental setback during season?
I think they're hard in their own aspect. Like they're different. Like I've had a couple season-ending injuries, and after you take some time to go through some things, you kind of know, okay, this is how it's going to be, and I can
Right.
work my way back. Versus the mental side of things, kind of getting out of a slump. There's always like that extra game that you can kind of prepare for. So that's maybe the difference between the two.
Okay.
But they're both hard in different ways, I would say.
Okay.
Um, I'm a knock on wood. I really don't have a ton of slumps. You know what I'm saying?
Let's go.
In regards to training, though, I definitely like. You know what I'm saying? You just like sometimes training be like, yeah, all right. Like I'm. You know what I'm saying? I work hard enough to where I can earn an extra day off or something. But like,
Right.
so I'm gonna go with T on this one. Like I think they're equally as difficult.
Okay. Good answers. Who do you call when you're having a tough day?
I mean, first I call on
Yes.
God. That's me. That's
Mm,
that's 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 like my
first and
first
foremost.
go-to. I'll have some time to kind of evaluate where my sense is, and then pray about it. And then I've got a good mentor in my life, which is also one of our chaplains that we had that I always can call up if there's anything that I need some more advice or strength on.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm also a firm believer. So God is definitely the first source, and then either my fiance or I also have a mentor. He's basically like my dad. I've been training with him since I've been 14, 15 years old,
Wow.
and been like every off season I go back home and train with him. So uh, yeah, that's usually the circle.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, last one for you guys. Beyond football, I want people to remember me as fill in the blank.
Um, a, a a good leader, a good man, and was true to his word.
Mm.
Real good. I like that. I think a great teammate, something I'd like to put others in front of him and understand that there's a bigger picture to football and hopefully be in the community and have helped out other ways and use the platform the right way, I would say.
Right. That's so good. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I am delighted to have Tayron and Shawn from the CFL on the podcast, and we are going to be exploring the tension between performance and well being, public success, and private struggles. So, football is perceived as a pretty masculine sport. So, you don't often, think about the people behind the game or the struggles that you're going through as humans and the importance of protecting your mind. So, as we just get into this conversation, I'm curious if mental health is openly talked about in the locker room or, with your teammates, or if that's still something that's generally avoided.
I think It's definitely started to take more of a bigger role within the teams, and I think one of the big changes that we've had is in our last negotiation with to get our collective bargaining agreement as the CFL, we felt like we needed a mental health support professional. So every
Mhm.
team now is assigned of sorts a sports psychologist that we have availability to, and we can tap into whether it be anything outside of life or anything sports related, performance related. So I think that was one of the big steps that I think we definitely overcame in the last collective bargaining agreement, which depending on how the coaches and everybody ties into that is something that's just really talked about in the locker room. Um, we had a Dr. M in Ottawa before I was here in Sask, and it was very cool to just say like, hey, I had a meeting with Dr. M the other day. Don't necessarily have to go into details, but just kind of that vulnerability of, hey, sometimes I just need somebody else to talk to as well, a professional in this case. So
Yeah, yeah. That's so good. I love that they
Um,
did that.
yeah, second T. Yeah, it's definitely more common now. Like I'm sure back in the days, like it was just you're playing a barbaric sport, like go be a man. But like,
Right.
like you just said, like being able to perform at a high level day in and day out is not easy. And so, sometimes you're pulling from younger guys, you're pulling from older guys about their techniques and what works
Right.
and what doesn't work. But I think it definitely is much more common now, which is really good because, as you know, like when a lot of guys play the game and then have some decent careers and then leave, like it's usually what I'm saying, they're hard to decipher between actual real life and then the game of football. So
Right.
yeah, I think it's way more chill now in regards to the mental.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah, and obviously your mental state greatly affects your performance, so they go hand in hand. Do you
Yes.
both have routines or habits to kind of get your mind right before games?
Yes, I mean, to me, I like to kind of go opposite what maybe a lot of the guys would say. I like to go very calm, relaxed. I think I play best when I'm at ease. So I'll play some worship music to like calm me down and really focus on what I believe is why I play the game, and that's to really glorify God. And then that from that sense, I'm pretty much chill and eat and go out and play the game. So for me, it's more of like kind of being at that even keel level and kind of getting my ducks in a row, go over some plays, and then go out and hopefully have a good game.
Yeah, and to follow that, it's usually for me it's a week thing. So we got day one, two, three walkthroughs, day four, and then game day, or travel and then game day. But like I'm pretty much they usually give us the plays for what we're about to run for the game, and so I'm running through those in my head constantly. Like I'm already imagining myself making these plays.
Right.
So like that's part of the mental, but and also understanding that when I do leave work, like it's okay to be away from football. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
go play the
good.
game, go
Yeah.
watch YouTube, go,
Right.
what I'm saying, be with your girl, be with your guys. Like it's all right. So
Mhm.
that I think that's my routine. And then like you just said, like it's definitely worship. And it's pretty much calm before the storm. Like it's like I'm a whole different person
Yeah, that's
when
good. I
we
like
get
that.
between the lines.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, the mental is major.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that's kind of pre-game, but what are the tools? Does it change,
Yeah.
I guess? What are the tools that you rely on during a long season to kind of keep your mind sharp and or protect your mental health?
Yeah, so thank God for the multiple bye weeks. Like those, like really, those are major. Like I used to just, early on in my career, like I used to be like, man, like I wish we could just play them all and let's go, let's get to the playoffs. But it's like really taking those times to like I just said, like get away from football. Like
Mm,
I've been to Moose Jaw and the Niagara Falls. Like I'm really going away from football. So like constantly trying to be refreshed because
mm,
like I just said, like the constant level, the constant demand of high level football, it can be, draining. So
right.
like I try to I try to refresh myself as much as I can. Like throughout the season, in like even in game, like I'm like halftime, I'm trying to get something in my ears, hydrate up to where, what I'm saying, we can finish out on a high level.
Yeah,
That's
I
good.
would definitely second that in the sense of, a lot of the guys are not necessarily from Canada, and we get to be in such a beautiful country, nice cities, and really just to understand that yes, we play football, but we're also still human beings outside of football, and that whenever we have some time to do something else, like guys pick up golf or maybe see the city, go to a museum or anything else, I think that helps you in such a long season to understand like okay, when we're on, and when
Yeah.
we're off, and we can kind of. And take up things that we like to do or just explore the cities or other cities we're close to. I think that helps me a lot, kind of what Shawn was saying too.
Yeah, that's so good. So keep the game, and then kind of redirect your thoughts to something else once you're like outside of that environment.
100%.
100%. Yes.
So good.
Yes, you
Yeah.
have to.
So for both of you, when did you first realize that mental health was something that you actively had to take care of as an athlete?
I think probably for me, um, I think I started learning more about it in college, about how important it is to kind of train your mind to go into certain situations. And I think I've gotten better at over at the years and going into the pro career, to understand that, hey, like if you had a bad game or you had some bad plays, like it's okay to feel a certain way, but don't let
Right.
it linger and go into other areas of your life. Like I think those are things that I've really started to understand how important it is that people make mistakes. You don't always play a great game, but you can learn from it, right? They're lessons, not losses necessarily. And this way, it can kind of propel you into whatever you're doing next. I think the biggest thing for me was a learning curve to like just not let it linger into other things. Like it's okay to feel a certain way just outside of football. You're still a human being. You still got to go do your groceries or go make some
Right.
dinner or go out and hang out with friends. Just don't let it linger, whatever happened on the
Mm.
field, into
Mhm.
everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. And for me, I would say also college. In 2016, I uh I tore my ACL my second year playing. And so coming off of a national championship in Division II football, like
Wow.
I'm like, oh yeah, like second year is going to be even better. And literally probably like a couple games before the playoffs, I tore my ACL, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you don't face adversity young, like it's like you think the world is ended. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like,
Right.
oh my, like what's now? What's next? But it's like so I really had to draw back, like, and obviously rely on, like I said, my resources from earlier. And so, yeah, I was like, bro, it's not the end of the world. It was my first ACL. It's a ligament, bro. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be, play at a high level again. So like, really just had to draw back from everything because, as football players, you kind of feel invincible. You feel like you're on top of the world when you're playing. So. Um, for that adversity to hit, I was like, okay, like one, like let me one get your mental right, but two, understand that like life is gonna be bigger than football.
Right.
So like right then and there, like I understood, like okay, so what can I be doing outside of football? So like I made a clothing brand, like
Nice.
so yeah, so it's plenty to do. Like he was just saying,
Mhm.
in regards to bye weeks and stuff. But I love fishing, like I love reading, journaling, all of those things. So really understanding and cultivating the human side, the vulnerable side that people don't often see.
Right. Yeah, that's so good. It sounds like you have a really just positive, like, and reflective kind of mentality around it. But I know that
Yeah.
I've had friends who have had that injury, and I know it's really tough, and the rehab
Oh,
is
it's brutal.
rigorous.
It's
So
brutal.
I'm just like, get me
Yeah.
into that a little bit more, like the beginning of that injury and just kind of where you were at and how you pulled yourself into this mindset you have now.
Yeah, so that was in 2016, and before that, I never had any injuries. So like I was so confused as to why it's happening to me. Like what did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? I don't take shortcuts. I don't skip things. I'm the guy doing extra. So yeah, like I like I said, I was like dumbfounded. Like I'm like what did I do? But like so understanding pretty much, okay, they were like, okay, we're gonna take your patella and that's gonna be your ACL now. And I'm like, all right, cool. And like I said, thankfully, like usually when people tear their ACL, it's multiple ligaments that tear with it. But mine was a partial tear, like I said, as a sophomore in college. And yeah, I like that was the first time I really like when the doctor told me like it was torn, like you know those movies where like you don't hear anything else. Like I didn't hear anything else he said after that. Like I'm like, oh my gosh. Like so my head trainer took me back home and like that was the first time I legit just cried. Like I was crying. Like, oh my gosh. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be able to play no more. Like in my head, I'm thinking like, you know, it's all over. And so yeah, like it was a really good doctor, trusted him. Everybody in the town trusted him. So I was like, all right, cool, man. Like let's go with him. Let's do what we got to do, and then you know get this recovery back on the road. So definitely approaching it with an optimistic mindset is like anything is for me is fundamental, but like it really does help your body respond with it, like the injury, the recovery.
Hmm.
And so I mean that's just really how I attack life in general. But yeah, that really helped. So like muscles were firing after you know being inactive for months and whatnot. So but yeah, really trusting my trainers, trusting the people that you know the professionals that they put around me, and then understanding like okay, like I just said, like it's bigger than football. So you know, stay on your grades. Make sure you know what I'm saying everything is tip top. So yeah, that was an absolute. um, um, I don't even know the word to describe it, but yeah,
Yeah.
like I needed it. It had to happen because I had another injury in 2024, same leg, same ACL, and
Wow.
so with that, I already knew how to attack, you know, the same injury.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah, so football is, a team sport. I'm now thinking like outside of yourself, do you feel a pressure to always kind of appear mentally strong in front of teammates or even like coaches and fans? Like, what is that experience like for you guys?
I don't know. For me, I feel
Uh,
like it's almost the opposite. I think there's a lot of strength in being able to show to your teammates, like, "Hey, I'm going through something," because the sport that we play, like was said earlier, it's a very violent sport, and injuries happen. It's rare to find somebody in the locker room that hasn't gone through something. And then on the other end too, like when it comes to fans and everything else, I think that vulnerability helps them out too. Like, well, they might think of us in a certain way and think of us kind of like always having to be mentally strong, which we do have to. But that strength is also found in kind of like saying like, hey, I'm vulnerable, I'm going through stuff. I think that can help them as well. So it's kind of like I would say more the opposite now. I don't know how it was 20 years ago. Obviously, it might have been different. But I think now there's definitely strength in kind of showing that vulnerability and that understanding between us athletes. Like, hey, he's gone through an ACL. He's probably gone through an ACL as well, and understanding fully how it is to go through something like that and sharing that vulnerability. It's powerful to me. I think it is. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I second that. I don't think there's a ton of pressure. Like again, like when earlier in your career, you feel like when you don't know the ropes, you feel like yeah, you have to put on this bravado. Which again, why? Um, so yeah, like as you again become more comfortable with yourself in the league, it's like yeah, like I might as well be me. You know what I'm saying? The coaches need to know me outside of the football. They need to know the person that they're coaching versus, you know, just a machine. And I definitely agree with the fans as well because you know on TV or in person they see superheroes, but it's like I'm only in that cape inside those lines. Like who knows what I was actually going through prior to or what I'm going through after the game. So um, yeah, I don't think that pressure is there to act like something that I'm not. So
Right. Yeah, it's good. Healthy, healthy answers. This is great.
yeah,
Okay, so now
for
I'm
sure. Yeah.
I'm curious what the experience is like going into off season. Like you have to go through this mental switch. I'm curious how much of your identity it is or was like tied to being an athlete, and why can that be dangerous sometimes?
I would say earlier on in my career. possibly I would say that the identity was tied more towards an athlete. And as I've learned kind of like how to navigate through the off season and obviously later in my career as well, I understand way more how important it is to kind of set yourself outside of football and not necessarily have that identity tied to it because eventually it's going to stop. In the off season it stops, so if you're tied to that identity it's very hard to stay in it. Like for example, I was able to do online classes. I have gotten my master's degree in the off seasons. um a lot of the guys here have entrepreneurial minds as well, so I have a business on the side as well, so it's very easy for me to
Nice.
kind of
Both of you
separate
guys.
myself. Yeah,
This
it's
is
kind
great.
of like something that um you have guys that are older than you and guys that have gone through it and just kind of advise that they give to you and say like, hey, this football stuff is not for long. um and you got to find something that you're passionate about or want to do after
Mhm.
football is done, and we're blessed enough to have those 5 6 months to obviously be ready for the season but have a little bit more time to find out what works for us and what we like outside of football.
Right. So good.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I guess approaching the off season is it's so hard for me because I always want to be working. Like I want to be out doing the next guy. But it's like, bro, take the rest, bro. You know what I'm saying? You went through camp, you went through 18 regular season games, and if you made the playoffs, like what are you talking about? Like, bro, go rest. So I had to tell myself that, like, bro, it is a okay. And so yeah, like last off season was probably like the longest I took. Like I was like, I feel like yeah, like I don't know, because like mentally you just feel like if this is not a day I'm not getting better, I'm losing a day. So I had to like work on that. Like it's all right, bro. Like your body gonna still be strong. Like your mental is still gonna be good. Like you have plenty of months to work your body and use the discipline that you know you have. So like definitely taking the rest that you need, whether it's 2 weeks, whether it's a month, whether like whatever. So like for me, like I took pretty much like the American Thanksgiving pretty much until yeah, the whole December. And I could not believe that I would take that long of a break, but like again, it needed to happen. And so like I actually had a full off season where I could be like, okay, like, now we can, start from ground zero and build it
Reset.
back up strong. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we've talked a bit about just like the importance of taking that rest, but then you've also mentioned how difficult that is as well. Why do you think that is? Like is that a guy thing? Is that a you thing? Is it an athlete thing? Like you just have that like driven mindset? What is it?
Like growing up, you've seen so many guys like that are great in great moments, and you're like, dang, like that's the moment I want. And then I ain't gonna lie, I probably listen to Kobe Bryant probably every day. So and like Kobe's working, man. So I think I just naturally, what I'm saying, rewired that into my DNA. Um, and also just being understanding that like I'm not gonna be always be the first pick, but like whoever does pick me is going to be correct on making that pick. So like understanding like, what I'm saying, you got to work, you have to work. So like I think that's what got me into that mindset. And then yeah, it's like now it's like clockwork. If I wake up, like, why am I doing something productive? Are we getting better in some way? 1% better a day. And like that's the mindset. So yeah, just ingraining that into yourself, I think, is what made me that way. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's definitely the athlete's mindset of like I gotta be busy, I gotta be working, I gotta work towards something. If I'm not, that's detrimental to me as an athlete. But I think over the years, as Shawn was saying too, like kind of shifting the perspective and seeing that rest is part of getting better. It's part of that 1%. That helps you maybe be a little bit more comfortable and be like, okay, I can take the week or two off. Obviously, having a plan and going into the off season right after the season, obviously give your body some rest because it is going to be beneficial. You don't want to start too early and then you're in month 4 5 6 and now your body is starting to see signs of wear and tear, right? And now you're like, oh, I wish I would have taken that when I had the time. So it's a great physical reset, but also a mental reset, right? But shifting perspectives is what helped, I guess, both of us. If I can speak for Shawn, just understanding that that rest is part of getting better. It doesn't necessarily mean stagnant or getting worse. Now, how you rest is a really good point too, right? Like just sitting on the couch doing nothing might not necessarily be the best way of resting. But moving the body is good. You don't have to squat heavy or run every day, but there's a way to rest well as well. So
Yeah, I love that point. That's so good. So just on that note, like what are some of the things that you have found really work for you, like that active rest without kind of throwing off the mindset? Because I can resonate with you guys with just like being driven, like, okay, what's the next thing I can do? What's the next thing I can work towards? But what does that look like specifically for you guys to active rest?
I mean, pick up like little sports here and there. Like I remember early in the off season, I would do like a little pickleball or something and use that as some type of conditioning, or riding our bike, or just instead of working out 6, 7 times a week, maybe do just one or two lifts in the first month or two. But just don't not move. Like make sure the body moves. That works for me. Light jogging or anything, but also just maybe taking a couple weights off. Don't go as heavy as you would normally, right? So there's phases to it, but picking up random sports is always fun, not to me, as long as it's not too taxing on the body. Some guys picked up boxing over in the off season. I know a lot of guys like boxing. Just a way to still have some type of conditioning, but it's not necessarily hard on the knees or the body in general, right? So I would say that was good tips for active resting.
So for me, like he just was saying with the sports, I naturally cross train anyway. So like baseball was my first love. Like I still love baseball to this day. So like I'm always in the cages or I'm still long tossing. Um, so like baseball, like he said, golf. Like I picked up boxing as well. So like like slowly just adding things to, like he just said, to your set where it's different muscle recruitment, but like it's not as taxing as it would be if you're running routes or stopping as hard as you can or lifting as hard as you can. So like yeah, I would say cross training for sure, and then just finding new ways to add to the recovery where it's, like I would never hike for recovery, but if I'm in Alberta, I'll just go to
You
Banff
have
and like
to.
hike and like take a polar plunge, a polar
Yep.
plunge. You know what I'm saying? So like
Right.
it's
Okay, okay.
refreshing, but like yeah. So it's just different things where if it works for you, it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would say, but like cross training for sure, like is healthy.
Yeah, that's good. Have you guys had to unlearn anything about toughness? We've been talking about toughness and just this rigorous sport to take care of your mental health.
I would say focusing on the negatives is something that I had to unlearn. Like if I would had a couple missed tackles, or if I had a couple missed assignments, I would classify it as a bad game. Like early in my career, it was like, okay, I didn't go. It's almost like I dismissed the things I did well. Now, you got to learn from your mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but it's okay to weigh the good things you did as well as the things you didn't do as well. And that balance wasn't always, I think, shifted in my perspective. And I think that has helped me to understand that this is what I did wrong, but this is also what I did right. And kind of a perspective shift of, okay, this is what I can learn, but this is also what I did well. Let's focus on that as well. Now, don't forget about what we need to learn about, but don't necessarily make that outweigh the good. For
Right.
me, that has helped me. Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I can piggyback on what T was saying, um like not letting the negative things snowball. Because younger you, like you're so mad you dropped the touchdown, like that like they're knowing that they're coming back to you two more times, you drop two more touchdowns. It's like like bro, you did drop it, yes, like we gonna work on that, but flush it, my dude. Like flush it, because it's when again, high level, high, like it's just what it is, what it is. Like you cannot be perfect. Um, so that was like the biggest thing where I was like, all right, bro, like it's not the end of the world if I don't make the play. No. Like, are you going to die if you don't make the play? No. So all right, cool. Like like not saying I'm not gonna try my best to do it, but if I do not, everything is still okay. The check still gonna hit my account. Like everybody gonna be all right. My mama still gonna love me. My teammates still think I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, all right, okay, it's not the end of the world if I don't make the play, but like knowing that I'm doing everything that I can to make that play.
It's kind of that snowball effect. Um, Sometimes I've had situations where there would be an issue where I did something wrong, and then my mind would go to other things that would come from that. Like, okay, well, I messed up so many times. Now I'm probably not going to play that play anymore, or I'm going to be taken out of a package. So I would just over exaggerate the issues instead of just focusing on what happened and the facts, right? And that's not just in football. I believe in life as well, right? Like, oh, my boss got on me because I didn't necessarily have the right report or whatever. Now I'm probably gonna not gonna get the promotion, or then somebody else is going to be get the promotion. Like, it's again, it's that snowball effect where exactly, let's go back to what happened and the actual facts, and we don't know if that's going to be the truth, right? So I think that was something that I had to learn early on. It's kind of like that over exaggerating and just adding things to what went wrong and just making those become facts when they really aren't. Like, they haven't happened yet. So let's slow down, let's chill out. And it's gonna be okay. And when they happen, they happen. And sometimes most of the time they don't even happen, right? So we're stressing over things that haven't even happened yet. So let's calm down.
And also probably like in regards to football, like when you watch it on film, it's half as bad as what you
Yeah,
thought it would be. It's
it's
like,
never as bad
oh,
as
Mm.
you
it
think.
didn't even look that bad. So
Yeah,
yeah, man, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, those are some great points. Yeah, and it really sounds like you have worked to kind of separate your worth as a person from your performance, which is so healthy. Just getting
It's
in that
so good.
mindset, and even just like we haven't even touched this, but just like friendships and people around you, like what did they say about who you are? Not that that external validation is you should weigh it that much, but just like it helps you get out of your head a little bit more of like, okay, what is
Hmm.
reality here? Is this just existing in my head, or like is this
Yeah,
actually reality? So I think that's important. That's
so
good.
true.
Yeah.
So true.
Awesome. Okay, I have one last question for you guys. I would like to hear what is one piece of advice that sounds good but could hurt younger athletes, and what would you say
Ooh.
instead?
Go where the money is. That's not always the best solution. Um, because even if you go on where the money is, who's to say that you will be healthy where there? Who's to say they'll utilize you like how you should? Like, so like I know the NIL and there's like that, like it's money thrown everywhere, especially in this sport. But that's not always the case. Because if you can take 10K less, but they're utilizing you, and now you got sponsorships everywhere, you built connections, you built, you know what I'm saying, a rapport. It's like sometimes that has the value outside of football when you leave. So
Right.
it's money isn't the end all be all. I'm gonna say that.
Yep. That's good.
Um,
That's a good question, man.
that's a great question, actually. There's something that popped in
Thanks.
my
Made it up
mind.
myself.
There you go. Um, I would say something along the lines of your value is measured by what you do on the field. Now, I think there is truth. There's definitely truth to that. Like, you got to play and you got to make sure you know what you're doing. But I think what we don't look at is as much as like, what kind of person are you? Like, your value is not just measured on what you do on the field, although it is probably what's going to get you on the team. But once you're on the team, what kind of teammate are you? How do you lead? Right? Do you lead by example? Are you just a talker, but you don't necessarily follow up with actions? What do the teammates say about you? Are you a good studier? Do you talk a certain way to the fans, or how do you treat yourself in the community? So I think there's truth to there's value of what you do on the field for sure, because that's going to get you in the door. But don't underestimate all the things that come outside of it. What do coaches say about you when you go to another team? What do teammates say about you? You never know how far you're away from your next team about one veteran that they love. And like, hey, we're thinking about bringing a guy in. Who do you recommend? You can be great on the field, but if they say, yeah, he's not a team player, or he's just an ego guy, like that's gonna hurt your chances too. So I think there's truth in value as what you do in the field, 100%. But don't overlook everything that comes around. Being in the community, being a good teammate, being a leader, all those kind of things. So I think
Oh,
focus on that as well.
character,
Yeah.
real character.
Yes, because
Oof,
that's
that's
what coaches
good.
are looking for too, right? Like when they form a team, what's the
Yeah.
culture? What kind of character
Totally.
guys do we want to bring
Yeah.
in? Is this guy going to be a problem off the field? I don't know if we want to risk it.
So
Like,
cancer,
Right.
yeah, true,
yeah. So is he?
true.
So at that, I think that's something that we should focus on as well. Younger athletes, especially. What do other people say about you outside the field?
Mhm.
How are you perceived? And don't worry about it too much, but more in the sense of it can hurt you if you're perceived as a certain person or whatever that might be.
Yes.
Right. And with that, we'll end it right there.
Yeah.
Thanks so
There
much,
it
Yes.
is.
guys.
Oh, money
That's
Yeah,
good.
honestly,
for sure.
like great insights. It was honestly a pleasure to get to speak with both of you and just hear a little bit
Likewise.
more into
Yeah.
like what it's like behind the scenes as a professional athlete and yeah, the connection between that sport and your mental health. So yeah, thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much. You had some great questions.